Hi, good people. My name is Joy Massey from St. Paul's University, coming to you with our SPU podcast. We shall be discussing great topics, but before we go on, I am surrounded, or rather, next to me, I have great men of this university. Ebumji introduce before we go on.
My name is Bidan Rajwai. I'm a third-year communication student, a radio journalist enthusiast, a writer, a poet, a photographer, a footballer, and a politician in the making.
Eish.
Yes.
Eish. And on my right, kwa camera ni left, so but on my right.
Greetings and salutation, beautiful people. My name is Victor Solitei. I'm a student here at St. Paul's University, Limuru campus. I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Communications, specializing in public relations and mass communications. I'm a leadership and governance student still on the other side, though I have graduated my diploma already. I'm a filmmaker and what else? Yeah, now a politician now on the other side. But my big interest is in leadership and governance. Yeah.
Right. So I have great people next to me, and I'm like, hey, okay, I have a filmmaker, photographer, leaders, politicians. But onto our topic today about student leadership within our universities as we focus on St. Paul's University. I mean, there's this thing that really drives me about being focus-oriented as a leader. And focusing on the challenges that we do face as student leaders, and as we step back every time and get to think, I mean, what really motivates you as Victor, as Vida, to be who you are right now? Like, what really drives you?
Before you become a leader, you must, first of all, identify the loopholes in the society. And in this case, we are talking about St. Paul's University, right?
Yeah.
Being a student, I have gone through a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties in my academic journey and endeavors. And of course, that is what has motivated me to become a leader and to be interested in the political field, so that I can at least try and fill the loopholes that I've personally gone through as a student, and of course in everything else that I do in St. Paul's University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, discovering the loopholes and just your personal life experience. These are the things that really drive you to become a leader.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful.
So just to say, I think to be a leader, for me, I normally use this criteria of coming up with a problem tree and a solution tree.
Yeah.
So leaders, we are putting ourselves to a point, to the line of duty of bringing the solutions that we see and some that we have experienced.
Yeah.
So being a student leader, you, of course, have to have gone through some things that students go through.
Yeah.
You have experienced them.
Okay.
You know what happens. And so you have now the solution tree that you would want to present. So, and then now your leadership, your emotional intelligence, all the intelligence, that we talk about, the quotients, will now be in place, because your competency will matter a lot.
Yeah.
Now in bringing that solution tree to life.
Okay.
Yes.
So the thing I'm really getting right now, it's all about as a student leader, all students discover, hey, there's a loophole up. I try and figure out how I can sort this thing. And I mean, it's something that is common to every aspect of leadership, that you must discover a problem. What's your take on just having the urge to lead people? Because I feel like some people just get into leadership because they feel like they have the calling to lead people. But again, what happens if they don't even get the motivation to lead? I mean, how do you handle this when you don't have the motivation to lead and yet you feel like you actually have the calling?
Well, I think the calling, from my own understanding, is a matter of feeling the burden on you, that there's something that is happening, and you really feel like you need to bring change
Yeah.
to whatever that is happening. And now, leadership, I've been in a class of leadership, and leadership needs a lot of competency at the same time.
Yeah.
And competency comes in when we have the skills, when we have the knowledge, and when we have also the calling now. The
Yeah.
burden.
Yeah.
You are passionate to live, to lead.
Yeah.
And then you are knowledgeable on how to lead.
Yeah.
And you have the qualities. You see, the knowledge I'm talking about, how are you going to approach a certain, the diplomacy
Yeah.
matter a
Yeah.
lot.
It's really true.
About the calling, I didn't tell you, I am a psychology graduate. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. There's a time we were taking lunch somewhere. And then I was with my friends.
Yeah.
Then I saw a student
Yeah.
just at a corner. He was looking disturbed. And then I told my friend, that one does not look well.
Yeah.
And I decided to approach him. Then I tried to interrogate him. Then eventually he decided to open up. He had issues with the school fees. He had not registered units. The deadline had gone past away. So about the calling, I think it's understanding how your people feel,
Yeah.
how your people behave, because you might want to lead, and you don't have the qualities.
Yeah. True.
Yes,
True.
but now the urge to lead will lead you to the qualities
Yeah.
as you undergo the process of leadership.
Yeah. It's true.
Yes, so I think the urge to lead comes first. Then when the urge is strong enough,
Yeah.
it will lead you into the progress of leadership.
Yeah.
And that's when you learn the qualities and how, in fact, to expand your leadership skills.
It's very true.
Yeah.
We tend to be leaders even before we discover that we are leaders, you know.
Everyone is a leader.
Yeah, true. We even lead our own lives at the end of the day. Yeah, it's very true. And the fact that you just focus, you get to identify someone and just talk to them and get to know what they are going through. It's something that led you. I mean, because every single thing that we do, it leads to leadership. In terms of decision making, which is actually a very big thing about leadership. For example, when you are the secretary and you have the assistant secretary, and where kuna times they come with ideas that are even better than yours, how do you even manage that, especially as we start in the student leadership? Because you see here, when we start here, bado ndio tuna progress kwenda juu. So how do you handle these concepts?
All right, so as a leader, one of the main things that you should have is you should have a high EQ. Your emotional quotient should be high. In this, I mean, because it represents your character, reflects everything to do with how you handle things, even decision making. And it comes to leadership, when you're working with people as a team lead, let others have their space.
Yeah.
You see, when you are working, you have been assigned a specific roles. In student leadership, we have roles that are well stipulated in our constitution.
Yeah.
Every leader should serve according to their role. And as when you are in a place of leadership in hierarchy that you are higher than any other person, let others come up.
Yeah.
Mentor them to come to your place where when you look at your shoulders, you can see someone that is also doing something.
Yeah.
It is never a one-man show. When it becomes a one-man show, then that's no leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing is we're now making decisions. It is always not good to rush into making decisions. Take time to listen. Take time to see all the things that are supposed to be considered
Yeah.
in every context.
Mhm.
And then it is also important to, I think when you're talking about leadership, and from now my knowledge of class leadership, it is not just enough to possess the ability of being a leader.
Yeah.
It is also important that you get the knowledge from, and the experience to lead,
Yeah.
because that will help a lot
Yeah, it's very
in
true.
even making those decisions. Sometimes we find ourselves in between two hard rocks, but it is important to take time and see how best when we're making those choices.
Yeah.
We always say that we're in liberty to make the choices, but we're not in liberty to choose the consequences that come along with those choices. And so when we make those choices,
Yeah.
what do we foresee? What are the effects? What is the
Yeah.
impact?
Yeah.
So that when we settle on this decision, what are we going to have
Yeah.
at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, talking in the psychological context, I feel like you really need to be mentally prepared for anything. I don't know, what's your take?
The mental preparedness,
Mm-hmm.
of course, begins from an individual level.
Yeah.
Of course, having in mind the role that you are going to undertake, and of course, taking a good look at the constitutional roles stipulated
Yeah.
for you, that is going to guide you in the role.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But of course, as the Swahili saying goes, aisifuye mvua imnyea. You have to seek for guidance.
Yeah.
You have to seek for guidance from, of course, those the people that have been in the field, maybe previously. Yeah, because a new journey. In fact, before uende safari, lazima you inquire kwanza about the fare. Lazima uangalie ni gari gani yenye iko comfortable according to venye wewe unataka. Ni gari gani itapita route gani, of course, unaona. So lazima kwanza you inquire from the previous leaders of how one goes about these things.
Yeah.
You understand?
Very true.
Kwa sababu you cannot embark on a journey that you don't know what is in awaiting for you.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for anything. And of course, in the readiness, in the preparedness, you have to seek for guidance.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And that and by that, we'll now push the challenge to those who have been there.
Yeah.
They should be ready to take in those who are coming, and of course show them
The
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about seeking guidance, it comes to a point where someone has become a student leader, and they had these aspirations of becoming great political leaders, just as you guys, of course, yeah. And then when they get there, we don't see their progress again. Like, they just became student leaders, and that was the end of it, and we don't even hear what they did again. What really happens along the way? Is it that they get discouraged? Is it that they didn't love their work? Or is it that they didn't get good mentorship? Because every young person who gets into leadership, especially student leadership, because I feel like that's where we start, like Kinababo, we know fathers in the student leadership, they got there. But there are those who actually don't really progress to what they really desired to do. What really happens along the way?
I will say that is a personal thing, because we all have long-term goals.
Yeah.
You see, when you are vying for that seat, possibly you've planned yourself, after this year, I'll do this. 2 years, I'll do this. And so it depends on how you've planned yourself as an individual.
Yeah.
For me, my interest is fully to serve comrades in this specific year. And then after that, I have my other plans, finishing my degree, going and, continuing with my studies and all that.
Yeah.
And possibly, God willing,
Yeah.
when I get a problem and I'll find myself in a position where I believe that I can bring a solution, I will not really wait, I'll go forth and seek for, you know,
Yeah.
I'll go seek for position to serve.
Yeah.
But at all times, a good leader always consults. I normally use this phrase: young people like to run, but it is the old people that know the way.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when you are in leadership, for us mostly who are young, we have a lot of energy. We have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is important that we realize that everyone that is in the place that we aim to be in the next 10, 20 years, they have gone through the process.
Yeah.
It is important for us to consult them. It is important for us to take notes on what we should do at what particular time.
Yeah.
What are the priorities? So that we do not mess around just because of the energy that we have.
Yeah.
So leadership, it is important for us to consult. Let the old people, and old people in this matter, it doesn't mean that someone is old age.
Yeah.
Also, old means the experience that
Yeah.
someone has had in that
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
Because someone might be young, but they have had very wide experience on that
Yeah.
in that field.
It's
So it is
true.
important for them to tell us how they have been able to navigate through even the corners that we might not be able to navigate us as individuals in that
Yeah.
position.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Katika uongozi
Okay.
unaponuia kuingia kwenye safari ya uongozi,
Yeah.
lazima uwe na yale matarajio yako mwenyewe ambayo unanuia kuyatimiza kadri ama punde utakapofika pale.
Yeah.
Na ni kwazo ama ni uamuzi wako mwenyewe kuamua ikiwa wataka kufika pale. Na katika ule uamuzi wako ni wewe kuamua ni nani utakayetafuta
Yeah.
ili akuongoze kwenye safari hiyo.
Yeah.
Unanipata?
Yeah.
Na ukiangazia hayo, uweza patana na mambo mawili katika kutafuta usaidizi. Unaweza pata yule mtu ambaye anataka kusaidia na anania safi na wewe. Alafu kisha weza pata yule mtu ambaye anataka kukusaidia lakini yeye anataka kusaidia ili yeye anufaike zaidi ya wale ambao wewe unao moyoni mwako.
Kweli.
Unanipata?
Kweli.
Kama vile Waswahili husema, mwenye kisima hapangi foleni. Kiangazia, lazima watu wako wapewe kipaumbele katika uongozi wako. Na kwenye sajili hii tunaangazia wanafunzi wa chuo kikuu cha Mtakatifu Paulo. Lazima wao ndio wawe kipaumbele bila kuangalia toka wapi, wewe ni nani, jina lako la pili ni nani, ama wafanya masomo gani. Unaona?
Yeah.
Na kwa hiyo safari lazima uweze kutilia manani na uweze kukumbuka kwamba mwisho wa siku nia yangu kuu ilikuwa kuhudumia ama kushughulikia hawa wanafunzi.
Yeah.
Manake hao ndio walinipa motisha ya kutafuta uongozi. Unanipata?
Yeah.
So kwa hivyo lazima kiwe akilini mwako na kiwe kinazunguka akilini mwako ya kwamba lazima nitimize ndoto.
Yeah, kweli. Na pia kuna umuhimu wa masomo pia. Despite the fact that tunakuwa waongozi katika shule zetu, iwe ni St. Paul's, iwe ni universities zingine, KU, JKUAT and name them. Ni muhimu to consider that our education is very important. Because even wakati tulikuja university, college, wapi, the first thing yenye ilituleta ni academics. So that is actually very important for people to understand that haimaanishi kwa sababu umeshinda elections ati sasa umedivert na sasa yeah, kuna hiyo balance. Unajua kuna hiyo balance yenye unahitaji so that kiongozi inasema kiongozi mwema, kiongozi what okay, rather a good leader inabidi anafaa kukuwa balanced. You balance between your leadership, you balance between your education, you even balance between your personal life, by the way.
In politics, there are two aspects. The first aspect is during the campaign period. See how you will relate to the people during the campaign period. Of course, you have to promise them good things. You have to tell them that you'll do them this and this and this and this and this. But of course, the main thing is they should love you because of your personality,
Mm.
and of course not to promise them.
Yeah.
Ndio,
Mm.
anapata.
Mm.
Na jambo la pili ni utakapopata huo uongozi.
Mm.
Utakapopata huo uongozi.
Mm.
Ni nini sasa uta decide kufanya sasa?
Mm-hmm.
In as much as maintaining your people is concerned.
Yeah.
You see?
Mm.
That point comes from the academics point.
Mm-hmm.
Because the same classmates are the same people that are going to help you
Yeah.
in the leadership.
Yeah.
Again,
Academics.
yes.
Yeah.
But now, after you get the seat, how will you behave?
Mm.
How will you behave? Will the power carry you
Away.
and make you forget that the same people in the class and the same academia is what brought you?
Yeah.
Without the academia, you couldn't have been a leader in that institution.
Yeah.
You see? So you have to maintain that rapport with the
Yeah.
people, with the students, the lecturers, of course, and the institution as a whole.
Yeah.
So you have to remain focused.
Yeah.
Pre-elections and post-campaigns.
Yeah.
My take will be this. The first test of a leader is always to test your ability to handle pressure. How do you handle pressure? Because we have a lot of pressures in life. Societal pressure, your own personal life pressure.
Yeah.
You have your own goals. When you start your year, when you start your month, the things that you put in place. At this time, I want to have achieved this and this. At this time, I want to have achieved this and this.
Yeah.
What is your ability to multitask and to make sure that you have achieved those goals at this specific time?
Very true.
And so that ability to handle that pressure should be your number one thing to see, to test yourself. Am I really able to go for this seat? When you go in for a specific seat, what you have tested yourself. You know, for me, I'm going for the SPUSA chairperson. Have I tested myself enough that I'll be able to handle the pressure that will come from this side, to handle the pressure that will come from a personal life,
Yeah.
even from the family, because we have a lot of pressure from the family, from our own, relatives and whatever. So for everything that surrounds you and all the things that you do, how much are you able to handle that pressure to make sure that you deliver accordingly to what
Yeah.
you are supposed to deliver?
Very true.
And so that really tells how your quality of a leadership,
Yeah.
your qualities as a leader.
Yeah, the most important thing also to always consider, which I feel like maybe it has not really been handled so well, hoping that when we embark into this leadership journey, the mental health and states of leaders, student leaders, and even leaders in general should really be considered, because we are all human beings. I may be here as Joy, you may be here as Victor, as Bidan. We all need to be mentally stable. So mental health should also be one thing that should be taken into consideration in leadership. Yeah.
Well, it's important.
Yeah.
You have said it very well that we're all human.
Yeah. We are
As
all
much as
humans.
you are in that position, you have that title,
Yeah.
you still are human.
Mm-hmm.
But again, to what I've said, your ability to handle that pressure.
Yeah.
Because you see, when you're able to handle pressure, you'll not suffer a lot. You'll be able to know how to
You have
navigate
control,
things.
yeah,
You see,
yeah.
how to control that pressure, how to control that stress. It is very important.
Yeah. Very
So that ability to handle pressure matters a lot,
Yeah.
because it will help you even to overcome some situations that come along with mental, health,
true. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. It's very true.
Just like a tree that produces fruits. Of course, you'll have many people throwing stones at the tree.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll have many people trying to climb the tree. But of course, at the end of the day, the tree has to produce the fruits.
Yeah.
How it will produce the fruits, itself, it doesn't know and it doesn't care.
Yeah.
Whether you throw a stone to it, the fruit will come down.
Yeah.
Whether you climb in a strategic manner to pluck the fruit, it will eventually come down, and
yeah.
you'll enjoy the fruit.
Yeah.
So as Victor said,
Yeah.
and as you have said, we have to really and I think I'll insist this. Check the mental health
Yeah.
of the leaders, because as the tree, unajua mti mwenye anajua the hali yake ni mtu mwenyewe ama Rabana alitumba sote, unanipata. Na sisi ni nani anayetujali, unanipata. Manake pia sisi tuna wengi ambao wanatarajia mengi kutoka kwetu, and of course pia sisi wenyewe tuna matarajio mengi kutoka kwetu wenyewe. You have to your goals that is set, your targets, of course. You have to look good.
Yeah.
You have to, of course, to progress the studies.
Yeah.
And of course, as a footballer, my talent has to progress, of course. So you have to balance.
Yeah.
You see, you have to balance in between the many things. But of course, a time will come in life where you have to focus on one thing, because a jack of all trades.
Yeah, very true. That was a great conversation. I was hoping to, like, I had this feeling to just go on and go on and go on, and I know we shall have good times to maybe discuss further.
And great hits.
And great hits. It's very true. But it is so interesting that there are so many different dimensions to actually diversify on student leadership. But it has been great. Thank you so much for viewing. I hope that you had a great time listening and getting more insights about leadership. Looking forward to having you, having your viewership next time. I have been your host, Joy Mercy, and I have been having my guest with me, that is Victor Solitaire and Bidan Rajwai. Thank you so much.